we just have to embrace adventure and step off into the unknown, even when it's a little scary. My GPS is out of commission. It's pretty exposed here. That didn't work. Solid block of ice. Enjoying life as it's meant to be enjoyed. It'll be gone before we know it. Hey everybody, Adam here. Today I find myself where two deserts meet, the Mojave and the Colorado Desert, otherwise known as Joshua Tree National Park. I am currently parked at the trailhead. Today my starting point is going to be the West Side Loop Trail. I'm on the fence if I'm going to be doing either 30 or 12-ish miles, but I do plan to do 2 days, 2 nights, and some desert backpacking. I'm currently losing daylight soon, so I gotta get on the trail. Let's get packed up and I'll tell you more about the trip as we go. West Side Loop Trail, 4.1 miles. We're gonna hop off that, of course. It's a little bit windy. Can't really do much about that. Look at the Joshua tree. There's so many around here. I'm losing daylight. I don't have a lot of time, but luckily the only real weight I have to carry is all the water because there's no real water source out here. This is such a absolutely surreal landscape. My original plan was to connect some looping trails. However, this wouldn't be an adventure without some sort of thing getting in our way. So unfortunately, my GPS route that I set up at home wasn't, there's some error on it. It's not loading, so my GPS is out of commission as far as route that I wanted to take. But I brought my compass. I know that my trail started south, so this is my trail. And the plan is to connect a series of trails forming a loop. Now, there's a 12-mile loop and there's a almost 30-mile loop. The 30-mile loop included a water cache where you basically have to store your water. However, I have no signal out here. I'm not familiar with this area. I'll probably have to save that for another time. So we're gonna most likely do the shorter loop, explore a series of trails, and it's gonna give me the opportunity to bivvy camp. And bivvy is basically, you're just lying in a little sack and it keeps you warm. You stuff it in your sleeping bag. I'll show you the setup and how that works later. But it makes us very mobile and we should be able to camp anywhere without a problem. We are gonna say goodbye to the last bit of civilization before we head into the wilderness. Which trail to take? Seems like there's a bunch. More likely this one. There we go. The temperature so far, it's about 50 degrees. I expect the temperature to drop to about 30 to 40 degrees tonight. I'll be able to stay warm with my 20-degree bag and my bivvy sack. So, not too worried there. So yeah, I couldn't have asked for better weather so far. It's nice and clear. It's a little bit windy because of the Santa Anas. Those are winds that are caused by the air being forced through the mountain passes. It's just a bit windy here, but it's not too bad. It's beautiful out here. So exotic. Now, I'm a little sad that I'm not bringing my hammock because you guys should know by now that I absolutely love hammocks, but I'll be going to a ground system for the first time in a while. I've only used this one other time in Texas, and that was near Big Bend National Park. Well, so far the trail's pretty straightforward. Not many signs, but at least there's not as many spiky bushes. Well, there's actually cactus that I have to be careful of, but other than that, Joshua trees are a lot bigger than I thought they would be. One of the cool things so far about the Mojave Desert is you get so much visibility. You can see for long distance, see everything, and it's just so beautiful. It's mesmerizing. It's dark, but lush in its own way. Nice and cool. Didn't think a desert would be this nice. The last time I was near this desert was back in August. It was sweltering, but this is my first experience full on in the Mojave. Very pleasant. Now, you can only imagine how hot this would be in the summer. The peak season to come here is between November through March, so kind of nearing that peak season. Only seen a few people out today. I don't know how popular this little trail is, or loop that I'm attempting to do. We'll see. Hopefully I'm even on the right trail, I don't know. That's what I get for not bringing a map, but it's okay. Learning from mistakes. Gotta make sure that I double check that GPS before I leave for the house, but this week it's been pretty busy actually. We can just kick back and away. beauty of this desert. I believe the Joshua tree is a relative of the agave plant, or it's in the agave family. But what's fascinating is this climate out here used to be a little bit wetter than it is now, or cooler than it is now. It's cool right now, but in the long scheme of things, climate change has affected this species of tree, and because of that, these species of Joshua tree are in danger of becoming extinct. I think I read an article saying that they might become extinct within the next 75 years or within our lifetimes, so it's kind of sad. I wish we could potentially do something to help reverse climate change, but that's a multifaceted issue. They're just my thoughts ranting to myself in the desert. This is a high elevation desert. I believe we're very close to 4,000 feet. Very mountainous desert. I've only been to one other desert in Texas. I think that was the Chihuahuan Desert. And what was interesting about the Chihuahuan Desert is that it's more barren than this. Everything in the Chihuahuan Desert is more barren than this, maybe by about 30-40%, like way less trees, just more of this type of scrub stuff. More of that type of scrub, this stuff, like bushes, and that's it, and rocks. But what's really cool about that desert in Texas near Big Bend, near the Rio Grande, is that it's all barren, and there's one big mountain in the middle, and there's trees and like specific species that only live like on that mountain that are able to grow because it has a natural spring that occurs there. Deserts give you some of the coolest opportunity to see just biodiversity at its best. It's so interesting. Beauty to be found in the desert. This would probably be the ideal time to go. You probably could keep going up until March, April, maybe. Then it starts getting really hot. Not to say you can't go when it's hot, but you need to be more prepared to carry more water, have water caches, which I was originally planning to do, but because of my lack of knowledge of this area and there being no cell phone coverage, I tried downloading the map offline and everything on my phone, but that didn't work. So we just have to embrace adventure and step off into the unknown, even when it's a little scary. Got about an hour and 20 minutes before nightfall. Hour and 20 minutes before the sun sets. So be about that. Preferably somewhere where I can not have to worry about the wind, although it doesn't really matter for me because I'm going to be in a bivvy. Essentially, I'm sleeping out underneath the stars tonight. So it's going to be a beautiful evening. I'm really excited. This trip I got some of my old favorites from Packet Gourmet, and I'm excited to eat that once I get to camp. There's a slight wind, a little chill in the air. Very dry. Smells very Christmassy. So cool. It's pretty good that they have markers fairly consistently compared to my last trip, especially in the upper sections. I'm carrying about 3 times the amount of water than I usually do because it's a desert and there's no water sources. It's a little bit heavier, but that's okay. Be using my 20 degree quilt from Hammock Gear. Really comfortable. I have my outdoor research alpine bivvy, which I'm excited to show you. Should keep me very warm tonight, despite how cold it gets in this desert. Just look at the light. Look how absolutely beautiful this desert is. There we came. We came from there and then looped here. Yeah, I imagined it being a lot hotter in a desert. Of course, we know deserts get freezing cold. Variability in the temperature of the day and at night, a very big contrast. What am I looking for a site to set up in a bivvy? Well, you could really be anywhere, but I'm looking for a little bit of a clearing in the bushes. I would like to be set up by some Joshua trees, but we'll see what opportunities we have around here. came to a little spot here just off the trail. It's nice and flat. Nice and flat. So I think this will be a decent bivvy spot for the night. Already cleared, don't have to worry. We are losing the sun, so I think we're gonna set up. It should be very peaceful. Okay, this is that spot messenger that I talked about in my last video. Very helpful and being connected in places that are unable to connect you. That's the whole point, right? This is my outdoor research alpine bivvy. It's has this Gore-Tex on it. It's very nice. It's almost like a very small one-person tent. It has this very lightweight frame that you can put in there, and it keeps it off your face. I can feel the temperature dropping already. It's starting to get very cold, so I think I'm gonna layer up, hunker down, get some dinner going. It seems like the best course of action. And all you do with this bivvy is straighten it out. You put this little frame, you put it through this little frame here. Feed it through. Now you have some spaciousness off your face. A lot of people don't like bivvies because they're kind of tiny. It's just for one person. You can only fit one person in here. You can't even fit your stuff, so your stuff has to be on the outside. Lay this out. I like to put, it doesn't even need this little ground mat, but I like to put a little ground mat in there because I want to protect the bivvy. I want to avoid as much tears as possible. So it sets up just like that. It'll lay off your face, keep the bugs out, keep all the creepy crawlies out. So this is home for tonight. It'll shelter me from the elements. And the second step that we do now is to put sleeping pad, stuff a sleeping pad in there so you give yourself a more insulation. This is Ecotech Outdoors Hybrid insulated. It's a 4-season. I believe it has a very high R value. That's why I got it. It's really good for winter, 4-season. I could have gone with the lighter pad, but because of the way temperatures swing so much in the desert and all that, I wanted to be prepared. So I like to load this up. You want to blow that up as much as possible because this is what is insulating you off of the ground. So this gives it a little more shape. Give it a little more shape. And I am going to put on much warmer clothes. Down is Very good at keeping warm. This is my 20-degree quilt from Hammock Gear. This time I have a sewn-in footbox, which will be very warm and fit quite nicely with this Bivvy sack. So I'm not going to crawl in here yet, but once I'm ready, I'll crawl in and call it a night. But we're going to definitely zip up the bug net because I don't want any bugs getting in here. If you want to have like a small guide outline, you can put one here and then also at the foot to kind of give you a little more, have it more secure. But I didn't do that. I was just packing up and wanted to get out here before traffic was too bad. I didn't want to have to do a night hike out right off the start, so I like to be able to see where I'm going. There we go. Not that I can't use a flashlight, but whew. Then you guys wouldn't be able to see anything, and it wouldn't be as fun. So there we have it, home for tonight. You just crawl in, and the nice thing about this little frame is it keeps it off your face a little bit, gives you a little bit of breathing room. And you have the option of keeping just with the bug net open or zipping all the way shut. So it's good, it's nice. It's like a very tiny tent. I don't know about you, but I am ready for some dinner. I'm gonna set up and enjoy what little light that we got left. It'll be gone before we know it. And then I'll be chilling, gazing at the stars, and just enjoying life as it's meant to be enjoyed. Some dinner started. What is on the menu for tonight is some Texas State Fair chili brought to you by Packet Gourmet. This is one of my favorite meals. You just have to add 12 ounces of boiling water, rehydrate everything, and it'll be ready in 10 minutes. So very good company. Be a good 680 calories to fuel tonight and tomorrow. I'm gonna need the energy. I have no idea how long this hike is going to be honest. I measured out what I thought it would be, and it just, the universe had a different plan. Wanted me to just go in and embrace it with open arms, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm doing it responsibly though. I have breadcrumbs back to get home. But yeah, just out here, haven't seen anyone else. We have it all to ourselves. There's nothing more comfortable than the sound of a crackling fire. It's getting warmer. Not quite there yet. Keep this here just to have 2 anchor points so that it'll be less likely to blow away. I also brought some incense sticks to set the mood on this camping trip. So the first thing you gotta do with these meals is take all the contents out, and they usually have a little desiccant right there that we're just gonna keep right here. Discard all the desiccants and put all that goodness right in there. And I'm gonna put a little Texas hot sauce on here. Squirt that goodness right in there. Yes, please. We're gonna seal that up and let it rehydrate for about 10 minutes. Just enjoying the last bits of light that we're about to have. Let's taste some of that. Oh, very good. So delicious. So good. I didn't have this item last time. This is a Toaks titanium spoon. Very useful for reaching into wherever you're eating and scooping stuff out. It is getting very cold, but I'm so glad that I have this delicious warm water to keep me warm. I really like getting a nice hot drink and then crawling into bed. It really makes the difference in keeping warm overnight. Alright, so I got my hot meal in. I'm gonna secure for the night. Got everything, all my food and stuff in my sack, ready for the evening. I'm gonna store my food in this tree right here. I'm mainly concerned about mice getting in. I don't want anything to get my food, so I'm gonna store that up here, and I'm gonna get warm because it is cold and windy. ready for the night, bundled up. I'm nice and cozy warm inside my Bivvy. It's gonna keep me warm with my 20-degree quilt. It's windy. I'm gonna try to warm up a little bit and watch the stars come out. It is a nice night. I am going to enjoy watching the stars come out, get some rest for a longer day tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. Well, last night was a cold one. It dropped to about 28 degrees last night. The coldest officially that I've ever used a Bivvy system. It worked quite well. But man, it was windy, cold, just freezing. But I'm glad that I brought all the layers that I did. And then with my 20-degree top quilt from Hammock Gear, very useful. This did a nice job of blocking a lot of the wind. Still doesn't mean it wasn't cold, but you know, it's pretty exposed here. Just breezes coming right in. But the stars last night, oh my gosh, it was like absolutely perfect. The visibility, I've never seen better visibility than that. Maybe like in New Hampshire or something in the summer. Oh, but that was so good. So now I want to try to get some breakfast started, but my food is all the way over there and I'm over here in my comfy Bivvy sack. It's freezing. It's 28 degrees right now with a blowing wind. Just gotta find the motivation to get up. But look at this view. I got my food. I'm gonna crawl back into my comfortable bivvy right here. when you're camping in winter, it's definitely important to get a hot meal before you sleep and a hot meal when you wake up. It's gonna be one of the fastest things to get your metabolism going. First thing that you lose dexterity wise is your fingers, so here's the crucial step. It's freezing. So alcohol can't vaporize at this temperature, but the important thing is to sleep with it. So I slept with my fuel, and I'm hoping that this actually ignites. So I got a little small thing of alcohol right here on my chest pocket that I always sleep with. And I'm going to get this started in just a second. I need to get my water. Here we go. So luckily it didn't completely freeze, but in the one that I drank from yesterday, my water froze. So while I'm letting that cook, yeah, last night I got restful sleep. I heard several animals go by. I think I heard a rabbit. It was like hopping right on by, either by my head or by my feet a couple times. Then I heard some coyotes in the distance. And you know, it can be a little frightening when you're out here by yourself, but I mean, realistically, the odds of you being in any danger while you're camping, unless like you sleep with food or something, like it's really low. So yeah, several times I just unzipped this, looked up at the stars, and it's whenever you looked up, I wish I could have gotten a shot of that. One of these days I'm gonna upgrade my other camera and can do some night photography. But that was so cool. I loved seeing the stars, being a part of nature, and this is just a really special place. The wind is starting to pick up again. It's okay. One of the drawbacks of being in a bivvy system is you get condensation. There's almost no way avoiding it. As you can see, ice has started to form on the inside of my quilt. It's a trade-off of if you have high winds like I did last night and you want to seal out all the wind, it has these two zippers. One's like a bug net zipper, one's this like keep everything out zipper, all the elements, anything. So because of the wind, I chose to do the full zipper, zip everything out, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up and there was condensation, and I'm sure at a certain point it calmed down, but I wasn't awake to make the adjustment of just the bug net zipper. So yeah, it takes a little bit getting used to. It's not very spacious in here. You can flip around, and I actually got my jacket on being zipped inside this thing, which is hard, but doable. You can do it. If you're a smaller person, I'm 6'5", so, and I can fit in this thing, so if you're any shorter than that, you'll have even more room than me in this thing. What I like about it, it's very compact. It fits in your bag. It could be dumping outside. You know, just have a tarp with this thing and you'll be good. And keep all the bugs out. And your warmth in. Cons are it develops condensation easily. Not very spacious. And you feel a lot more exposed. You are, it's just you and a little sack, essentially. So it's pretty much like cowboy camping with just a little bit extra protection. There's scorpions out here, so I definitely didn't want them to crawl on my face or anything like that. Or rodents. Rodents are another good one, like mice, rabbits, you never know. So this offers good protection from all that. You know, one might hop over you or on you, but at least it won't be on your face. Not directly anyways. Okay, it's out. I gotta get a little more fuel in there. This is warmed up. I like getting that little starting fuel in there. And then I keep my fuel bottle, it's small enough to put in my pocket, keep it warm. Very useful. Today we are going to have the Southwest corn and black bean salad for breakfast. That almost sounds like a boil to me. Got that nice hot steamy water. So add everything in, shaking it up, gonna let that rehydrate, and pretty soon we'll have a nice hot breakfast. Let's try some of this. Hot food always tastes good in the morning after a freezing night. Food is so good. And the sun has finally made its way over that ridge. That sun makes such a huge difference. It feels so much warmer, at least to me. It feels great. So I'm gonna get packed up, had a nice breakfast, and get headed down on the trail. Cheers. Yeah, I love this Outdoor Research Alpine Bivvy. It's very robust. Keeps you very warm and safe from the elements. These bivvies were designed by for mountaineers originally when you're climbing a mountain or whatever and a storm rolls in, you can have your own portable shelter like this. So, and the military uses them as well. But yeah, I am a big fan of this, especially cold desert climate like this, when you're dipping down in the 20s and 30s. Stored my sleeping pad, rolled it up, and then I let my Bivvy dry out a little bit. It's that black one over there. And just packing everything up and be headed that way. Here's how cold it got last night. Solid block of ice. Pretty much, just melted a little bit, but wow. Solid. I can't break that apart. All set to go. What a beautiful spot for the night. Other great thing about the Bivvy that I like is it's so low profile to the ground. You can do all kinds of stealth camping, so I do like that. Still pretty cold. It's warmed up to about 39, so way better than in the 20s last night that we cracked into. Looks like we have a little split here. It says our trail, the west side loop that we started. This one says Little Long Canyon Corridor. Interesting. Well, this one, I don't know if it connects to anything. And I also heard this was the direction last night back in here where I heard the coyotes, so I don't know. Maybe not go down the one-way trail where there could be coyotes. Oh well. Yeah, we'll continue on with our west side loop. See if it connects to anything interesting. I just had to stop and take off a layer because I'm starting to move now and the sun's out. So that's one thing about winter hiking, is you have to get used to putting layers on and taking layers off. It's important for that kind of management because if you don't manage your heat properly, it's important for that kind of management because if you don't manage your heat properly, you could overheat, start to sweat, and then it gets cold, and then you can go into hypothermia. That is not what we want. Not what we want to achieve out here. I'm gonna stop and get some sunscreen on. The sun's out and I don't quite feel like getting a bad burn today, so even though it's cold, gotta get this sunscreen on. I keep my little sunscreen containers. I have a little container to put sunscreen in. I keep it in here because it saves weight. I don't have to take the whole thing. I just put in what I need and save the rest at home. Oh, I love early morning sunscreen baths. You can see some snow-covered peaks just through that little pass there. That is beautiful. The trail has narrowed out quite a bit. It's not as wide as it was. A little bit more rocky. Still some of that fine sand. That is a phenomenal view. We camped right down in there last night. Absolutely breathtaking. I've warmed up quite a bit. It's a little cold last night, but we are warming up. I simply cannot get over how awesome these 360-degree views are. Man. I also find it interesting with all these rock formations just kind of scattered out sporadically. Must be a very interesting geologic history in the past here. There's all the stratification of the smaller rocks, and there's all kinds of different ones, and they're all really shiny, which tells me they have crystals. So it's so interesting. As the sun has come out, little by little, the wind has increased. So that's why I'm keeping my Patagonia wind shirt on. It's been helping to cut back on the wind. I like it. It's super light. It has this little pocket that you can put stuff in. Last night I slept with my fuel bottle in this little pocket so that I was able to start my stove more efficiently in the morning. Starting to get a little elevation gain. I like it. I think I just saw a little rabbit go around a rock. That's probably what I heard right outside my bivvy last night. A lot of planes seem to fly over this corridor. Been hearing them all day. Feels good to take that layer off. So far, I haven't seen a single person since yesterday. There's an awful lot of footprints, but I guess a lot of people are just scared of the cold, so I'm expecting probably once it warms up a little bit more, right around 10, 11 o'clock, is when I'll start seeing some more people out here. Up a bit, but it still feels pretty cold. This ought to be a good lunch spot to take a break. I got this little blue pad. It's a nice little sit pad you can sit on anytime you're at camp or you want to take a break on the trail. It just folds up and you sit on it. So, taking a nice shady break underneath this Joshua tree. I'm gonna make me some lunch. I especially like these when you're just on the trail. It saves you time, you don't have to break out your stove. That lunch was much needed. I feel fueled and ready to go. It's important to keep your nutrition well on the trail. It gives you that energy and boost that you need to get to wherever you're going. So because some of my gear is soaked from the condensation last night, because I decided to zip everything up, it's a little bit wet for me to use tonight if it's gonna drop to 28 again, and I'd be more comfortable if I had a drier bag. So I think I'm gonna call this trip. Just gonna make it an overnighter. It was a lot of fun. I loved being out here, but I need to take care of some of my gear. One of the biggest drawbacks of the Bivvy system is that it gets a little too much condensation. I don't know if that's avoidable. I don't know if any of you guys have used a Bivvy in the past, but yeah, definitely leave your thoughts and comments below. I'd love to hear if you guys have any techniques for that. But overall, it was a great time. Glad to have been here and taken you along. And until next time, I'm Adam. This is Adam's Outdoor Adventures, and I'll see you soon.
All this time we had to prove that we could stand here too. All the nights spent pushing through, fight for all we had to lose. Reaching out for something to pull us up to level ground. Oh, I can see it